Hoi there everyone, this is FatesFanboy speaking and welcome back to another episode of Inazuma 11 GO Strikers. Episode 21, after beating up Protocol Omega with a staggering score of 7-0 last week, we are now moving forward and heading straight for Zanark's domain. Seemingly the penultimate match of this map, which means we're getting close to the end of the story mode series. That is not to say that Inazuma 11 GO Strikers will end there, but for the story mode, that will be the end of it. Regardless, we're not going to worry about that. We have a solid match ahead of us today against a 5-shield team. Like I said, Zanark's domain, headed by none other than Zanark, the one, the only, the nameless nobody from nowhere, for those of you who have played the dub of Chronostones, of course. Now again, this video might come out a bit late as opposed to some other videos for several reasons. First and foremost, there was of course the World Cup going on, which I'm undoubtedly going to go into in the match to come if I don't have anything else to cover. And then there is the matter of me being tormented by a mild cough for about a week now, so I tried to stall this recording for as long as possible, hopefully until my cough had disappeared, but alas, I guess we'll just have to brute force it in this episode. But yeah, having made my excuses, having made my apologies and all that, it is of course time to get straight back into recruiting some more characters for our lovely team. And today, I'm happy to say my prayers were actually answered. As opposed to when I promoted Task Kid before, after last week's episode there were a few kind souls who wanted to grant me my one request for a character. You know, don't mind me just forcing another one of my favourite characters into this team. But yeah, that was of course none other than Goldie Lemon. Now, we unlocked her last week on the story map, and I mentioned that she was probably my favourite character in the Go arc. I stand by that. She is a really great character, I really do like her a lot, and so I'm happy to say that someone actually did recommend her. Mostly to please me, but still, we take what we can get in this series. So thank you, Lucas, for recommending Goldie to me, and let's see. The fix for soccer that's better than the actual World Cup. Yes, I do agree on this one. Thank you for that poignant comment, and thank you once again for this recommendation. I will happily pick up Goldie, and we're going to put her in the defense immediately, of course. Before I do, I think I want to take a quick moment to introduce some minor changes I made, not only to the team formation, but also to the actual outlook of the team, the cosmetics, so to speak. Now, I had a bit of an epiphany after watching the Dutch team play. I was thinking, is there not an orange kit in this game to represent my heritage? And lo and behold, there actually is. So, kind of spoiled the surprise for you, but we are going to be battling in an orange kit from this point onward. I don't know, the neo-national away kit was nice, I just didn't really like the long sleeves, and the black, it kind of makes it difficult in some thumbnails to stand out. But like I said, some major changes to the team here. We are going up against the 5-shield team again, so I switched out some of our weaker players in favor of getting the strong guys in there again. We've got the Chaos Trio back, Suzuno, Aphrodite and Nagumo. We retain Faye and Hakuryu because they do get access to spirits, and one of them gets a mix and match, namely Faye of course. And we keep the strong defense with 4 defenders this time, of course featuring Yil, who we recruited in the last episode, and then I also brought back in Shadow because I think he might be a good midfielder. He'll be useful in blocking some shots on the midfield there, but then I should of course put in Goldie, and I think... So I had brought back in Nathan, but I think seeing as Goldie can also block, or maybe I'll just take out one of the reserves, maybe I'll just take out Alessandro for a bit. And then we are of course going to switch out Nathan for Goldie. This is what our defense is going to look like for this episode. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to train up Goldie to get access to his spirit, but I think for this match in particular, it might just work out in our favor, because now she can actually block with her signature move. How do our stats look now? Okay, so we only have buffs in guard and catch, which before I had different stats because Nathan also gives boosts in speed and kick. I think we might just find some different stats. Yeah, I think we went with this in the last match, Rusty and Hawkins. So perhaps it's for the best to stick with that. Don't change a winning team, I believe they always say. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you are, consider subscribing to me. It is completely free. You can always change your mind later, and it goes a very long way for me as a content creator. Let me know you guys want more of this stuff in the future. Thanks in advance, and enjoy the rest of the episode. But yeah, that's basically it. That is all the changes I made. It is a pretty significant change. But right, enough blabbering again, enough meandering around the point. We are just going to head straight back into the Go map, and we're going to face Zanark's domain. There we go. There you see it, Hawkins in the bright orange kit. Now of course, The color orange, yes, it represents the Dutch team, it represents the Netherlands as a whole, the country of my home, but it's also coincidentally my favorite color, so I think this is honestly a win-win situation for me, and perhaps also for you, but perhaps it's nicer to look at. It's definitely more distinguishing than the black. But regardless. Zanark time. 5 shields, Zanark's domain. So Zanark, notorious for being one of the strongest players in this game, I want to say. I have used him quite a bit, so I know what he's capable of. He has access to 2 mix-and matches actually, but not on this team. In this team he only gets access to 1, so that is what we're going to have to look out for. But I'll get into that as we start the match. Alright, so yeah, we did all the organizational stuff. I don't think I can change moves by this point, but I think I organized all that. So nothing to worry about. Let's just check out Zanark's domain real quick. If you haven't played Chronostones, you're probably wondering who the fuck are these guys? Well, these guys, I believe, are just Zanark's groupies. Don't really know how the lore goes, but the fact is that this is a 5 shield team, and they are nothing to scoff at as a result, even though their stats might suggest otherwise. Yeah, all in all, not too much to say about this team. Yeah, I don't really like any players from this team either. Like, with the exception of Zanark, of course. Who doesn't like Zanark, honestly? Our main goal is going to be to block off Zanark, because once he gets the ball, he's going to go on a tear, and there's absolutely no stopping him, probably. Well, it is still the story mode. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little. Yeah, I think that's all, probably. Let's just head in, see what we can do. There we are. In the era of the 3 kingdoms, Zhuge Liang's territory. Surprising I know all these names after so many years, honestly. And we get some kind of menacing music in the background. Now, admittedly, I've kind of been waiting, clamoring even, to hear Bata's theme, because Bata's theme, well, as they call it in this game, is really good. I'd expected to hear it during Protocol Mega's match, but it just wasn't there. And there goes Zanark, unless he doesn't trigger it? Okay. Well, that was about to be a minute 1 mix-and match, but he didn't go through with it, I suppose. Now we can of course do the same thing back, but I think Zanark is a bit more threatening in that regard. And I want to make sure to get the co-op shot off. That was close. Don't do that. I don't like always being stopped. Yeah, the scenery here is so nice, like all the mountains in the background. It's a very cool place to be. Oh, it's called Sandcutter. Yeah, it's much more straight to the point in the Japanese version. But there we go, solid. 1-0 lead. Thank you, Nagumo. Very happy to have you back, my guy. But yeah, if you'd noticed, as we get passed by this guy, who's going to laugh at us, I'm pretty sure. Nope, that's a different guy. Must have misremembered. But I was going to say about the keeper, if you've noticed his character model, he actually looks a lot tougher in his portrait, I want to say. But in his character model, he's actually quite scrawny, which surprised me at first glance. I don't know, it's kinda off-putting in a way. Let's see, can we... that's not a character who was fired up, so... Okay, that's a bit of a waste, actually. Because this doesn't get rid of their fired up status. Instead it just gets rid of Aphrodite's TP bar. We can probably still make some sort of setup. And I think I heard Zanark's... Okay, there we go. Not done through. Zanark does have a shot, a defense move, and a dribble move, which is why he's so capable. And yeah, on top of having 2 mix-and matches, one of which grants him access to one of the strongest shots in the game, it makes him a really potent player, overall. Also of note is that almost all of the players on this team, I want to say, have Screwdriver, as you'll see. Which I don't know if they take that from Zanark, I don't know if there's some kind of lore going on here. It might be the case that these guys are actually duplies of Zanark. I wouldn't be able to say for sure, because it has been a hot minute since I... Oh, we can pull something nice off here. There we go. Yale gets access to Emperor Penguin 7. And now, with Beilong in the way, Hakuryu, we can chain with Dragon Blaster. Finally, This is what I was trying to do in the last match, but I didn't manage to put it off. But now I have a more optimal formation to actually pull this kind of stuff off. And I actually have a defender who can shoot, but it apparently doesn't matter at all. Interesting. Probably because Dragon Blaster is not a long shot and does still lose power from a distance as a result. This guy's going to laugh at us. Close enough. I remember, like, vividly that there's one guy on this team who laughs very, very heartily at stealing the ball from us. But I might be misremembering. It might be someone else. I have to say, the orange kit, it looks really nice on our players, actually. It kind of fits everyone. Not at all disappointed with this selection of kits I made. And this keeper. He is showing that they are a 5-shield team. So I cannot be upset about that. Almost wanted to trigger phase mix and match as a last resort. But I think we'll be able to hold off Zanark for now. Even if he does passes here, that's still good because he loses his TP. And we can probably intercept here. There we go. Goldie. She's probably not going to do too much in this episode, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, all in due course, as I like to say. Now, can we do anything? Probably not. I'll just let this one rip. Just to see how far this gets. Okay. So yeah, we didn't have anyone to chain with, no one in the middle at least. I kinda... Maybe I should have put Gazelle or Suzuno in the line of fire from Shadow. But that's alright. For the time being, it's not too much of a concern for us. This guy has Tiger Drive, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there you go. Very random move for this guy to have. But King is going to be able to stop this. No, I don't think I'll pull any punches, actually. They've been able to stop our shots quite consistently, so probably shouldn't underestimate these guys. Long ball. And that was, unfortunately, offside. What an amazing maneuver. The offside trap. You love to see it. Fully intentional as well. Actually pulling off a dribble maneuver as well, successfully. Gazelle, please. Oh, so close. So close. I think she has Atomic Flare anyway, so she probably would have been able to block. I remember that from the DS game, but I don't know if that covers, if that carries over, I should say, to this game. And this is looking to be a rather quick match. And that was perfect timing, actually. Did you see that? He just triggered his fired up status as I pulled off my defensive move, so they lose it immediately. There we go. But yeah, this was a very quick first half, actually. Not a whole lot of stuff happened. They just kind of stopped our shots, like very convincingly. That's a bit concerning, but we're still up 1-0, so nothing to complain about. Now I might consider bringing in some more firepower. Perhaps in the way of Sneo. I think that's actually not too bad of a maneuver, like taking out Shadow for Sneo. It's just that a level 2 move is definitely not going to break through Sandcutter, so probably for the best to actually get a Spirit in there, a second one. Third one, even. Fourth one. I'm not keeping count of all these spirits now that we're in the Go arc. So many of them. There we go. Very nice interception. Also in his end. Okay. I did not expect that. You have Shinkuma? Fuck you. That is Hawkins' move. You cannot just do that. Like, yes, I know Zanark also gets that upon mix and matching, but that doesn't make it any more scandalous. He could never put it off as well as Hawkins could anyway. But there we go. Goldie finally doing something. You love to see it, my girl? Let's go! Big Goldie shot. You love to see it. Oh, I love this girl. She's great. This is a long shot, actually. But I don't think it has a chance to go through here. If anything, it's able to deplete this goalkeeper's TP bar a bit, so that's something. And I think that is... Yep. There goes Zanark, mix and matching with Cao, or So, as he's called in the Japanese version. Oh, damn. Oh, he actually stopped us? It looks so funny. Like the big character build and then pulling off Screwdriver. Here we go, surprise Rusty. It doesn't matter apparently. I'm sorry, Rusty. Yeah, I think, like I mentioned, that I will first put off this mix and match and then get into the World Cup for a bit, because it has been a turbulent week as far as that's concerned. There has been a lot going on, there is a bit for me to talk about. Concerning the Dutch team as well, because they were of course eliminated last Friday in the match against Argentina. And man, what a match it was. I think of all the matches I've seen, in my lifetime actually, this is probably the most violent one, I want to say, the most turbulent one. That is saying something. Like, I did not expect this match to even turn out this way in the first place. I of course didn't expect there to be any violence going on, any fighting. But the way the Argentine team was playing, it was... I don't know. I want to say it's inexcusable, not just from my perspective as a Dutch person. I don't per se feel any grudge towards the Argentine team. Not for winning against the Dutch team, that's a 2-0 by the way, very clean. But what I do feel a grudge for is the way they composed themselves during the match, because I'm not going to try and rant about this, right? Because I am the last person to say anything about good football. I have no knowledge whatsoever over what is good football and what is not. But I can say for sure that the way the Argentine team played, that was football without honor. It really was. And I'm not just talking about the fights going on. I'm talking about the players provoking the Dutch players. I'm talking about the players falling to the ground at every lightest touch. Just to provoke the referee to actually, you know, pitch in, give yellow cards and stuff. Which he did 19 times. But not for Messi making a handsball, a blatant one, might I add. And that is also where my dislike for real football comes in. There's always a chance for things like these happening, right? Big players being, I want to say, favored because, you know, they are so well known. I think this was an inexcusable case of the referee being partial to Messi, not giving him a yellow card for his handsball just because he is a big player. Not only did that put the Dutch team on the back foot, it also cost them the match, like at the end of the day. Because, let's be honest here, without Messi, the Argentine team would have fallen apart. And, you know, if Messi had been off the pitch, which he would have been, he would have had 2 yellow cards, which of course makes a red one. It was a mess. It was a mess. And then that Argentine player kicking the ball into the dugouts of the Dutch team, that was probably the most unsportsmanlike move I've ever seen. 3-0. I'll quickly mention, in the middle of my lament, I want to say. Yeah, there were so many things that can be judged, that have room for improvement. And that is just putting it lightly. Because, sure, you know, the Argentine team, they played alright. But in the grand scheme of things, you cannot say with a clear conscience that they played clean football. Neither can you say that the referee did his job well. It's for a reason that this very referee was sent home just today by the FIFA for his, I want to say, poor performance at that game. Nice hair, dude. Love that. And I'm trying to think of a useful way to wrap this up, but I'll just say 4-0. You'll love to see it. But I want to say that, yes, perhaps I feel a little bit salty. Perhaps, you know, I am one of the many butthurt Dutch fans. But when I think back on that match and the fact that there was literally an investigation started into both teams for their behavior, then I don't think I can seriously consider this match a good one. Also, that is a move I have rarely seen. What was that? Some sort of UFO? I liked it, don't get me wrong. But King stops it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that was, in broad terms, my complaints about the Argentina-Netherlands match of this Friday. And yes, it is a shame that we got so far. We managed to pull it back in like the last 20 minutes of the game, managed to get back 2 goals, and then we lose in penalty shootouts. It is a damn shame. And perhaps I wouldn't have been as salty about it if the Argentine team hadn't been so cocky, hadn't provoked our players, hadn't played like they were, you know, seriously injured with every mild push. But well, I'll disregard everything about that right now because we got the 5-0, boys. We got it. We nailed this match. There's nothing more to be gained out of this match. We've achieved what we came for. Now to just keep Zanark away from the goal. And to make sure that this match gets rounded off a bit better than that match against Argentina. And actually, on that note, before the match ends, who are you rooting for? Because there have been a lot of upsets in this tournament. And I'm not just talking about the match Argentina-Netherlands. I'm of course talking about Brazil being knocked out of the tournament by Croatia, of all teams. I'm talking about Portugal being defeated by Morocco. And now, of course, France defeated England, which perhaps was not too surprising. But yeah, that leaves the question, who are you rooting for? I think I'll be probably on Croatia's team. Yes, because they're playing against Argentina, I just want Argentina to lose by this point. And wow, did that really go through? That went through Atomic Flare and Rotary Sander. That is kinda crazy. Thank you, Akuryu. But yeah, perhaps as a final note, as a salty butthurt Dutch fan, I hope Messi and the Argentine team lose, and they go down gloryless. That is all I have to say. That is the end of my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I hope my words don't upset anyone, because I obviously don't intend to hurt anyone with my words or to upset anyone. I feel like these videos are kind of my way of putting my thoughts out into the world, to just talk with you guys about what's on my mind. And I hope you appreciate that in one way or another. But there we go, 710 points. We are going back to Inazuma 11 instead of real life football because man, how much superior is Inazuma 11 to real life football, am I right guys? But yeah, that's good, that's solid. That's Zanark's domain out of the way, much quicker than I'd expected. Honestly, talking about the World Cup, about everything that's been going on, really made this match go a lot faster than I thought it would. But that has been done and dusted, we now get access to Zanark and his groupies. Okay. Okay, menacing theme in the background, I love that. Are these... okay, that's the team I was talking about. The Destructors, with Flora of course leading the charge. And now the map objective is unknown. I love that. But before any of that, we have of course got to open this golden chest. So that is exactly what we'll do. Going to focus up for this one, going to see if I can reap 3 manuals from this. Or whether I go down gloryless, like Argentina hopefully. Oh, 2 manuals. Okay, solid. Solid, honestly. And then, yeah, that really leaves nothing for us except to challenge Flora and her team, which only appeared in the movie, if I'm not mistaken. They are, of course, going to be a 5-shield team. Furora. There we go, the Destructors. 5-shield team, and they are going to be the final boss for this map. So that's going to be probably also the final boss for the whole story mode. Exciting stuff. But that is of course a matter for next episode. for now, we are probably going to head back to the club room. We're going to recruit one more character and then we're going to round off this episode so we can move right along to the final boss next week. I'll see you back there. You know, thinking about it, I'm actually kind of happy for that boss theme just now because that means that the obnoxiously loud music of that map is gone, at least, you know, for a bit. We take what we can get, boys. As per usual, we're going to pick up one more character, and today that character was requested by Amino, my Polish translator for the multi-language videos, and a trusty patron of this series since the very outset. So, Amino requested either Goldie or Beta, and seeing as we've already recruited Goldie, we are of course going to fulfill their other requests and pick up Beta instead. So that means we're 1/3 of the way towards getting Omega Assault. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but we did get a request for Alpha, so, you know, if you want to see Gamma on the team, perhaps we could get Omega Assault at some point in the future. It would be quite cool to have it going into the final match. Don't think we'll be able to because I can only pick up Alpha next episode as per our rules. But you know, perhaps if push comes to shove, if people really want to see Omega Assault in the final match, I'll make it happen. But yes, thank you once again, Amino, for your request. I will happily use Beta because she, of course, also has a spirit, and she's, of course, the best one of the Omega trio. But yeah, perhaps as this series is looking to be running its course, we might actually spend some of the manuals we got because boy have we stockpiled a good few of them. We have 7 speed manuals. Like, what are we ever going to do with those? Now, as it's looking like the Chaos Trio is going to come back in our team time and again, yeah, I will actually max out Suzuno's speed, because, you know, it's always nice to see an S rank on the team. And I will also give one level up to Rusty, because I think he deserves it. No bias whatsoever, of course. What else? We have kicking manuals, always handy, of course. Let us see. Yeah, Afrodi could use some. He only had B before. Can you imagine? An ace striker having B kick. And then what else? We have a lot of control. Who could use control? Afrodi as well? Yeah, Rusty, my guy. Go on, take it. This is guard. Guard is also very handy. Of course, we're going to put that on Rusty. He needs it. And then, of course, Goldie needs it because Goldie is going to be a permanent member. But yeah, thank you for coming to my happy spending spree of manuals. We'll get a bunch more in the future, so if there's other players who direly need some upgrades, we'll get it settled. But yeah, with that being said, I'm trying to think of something else to mention because I believe there was something. Oh yes, there was something. I finally remembered. But I'll mention it when I go to do my outro, which is right now, actually, coincidentally. So, damn. Okay, guess I'll mention it anyway. Alright, so, as always, if you came up to this point in the video, thank you very much for watching. It's always a pleasure providing for you. Like usual, the ever-pending request to leave in the comments any characters, kits, emblems that you want to see on this team. And, yes, the thing I wanted to mention, very important, if you are in my server, if you're not, by the way, there's a link in the description, there is a channel for actually recommending characters for this series. Of course, it's always nice to get comments on my YouTube videos, helps with the algorithm and stuff, but if it is more convenient for you to do it through Discord, there is a channel in the server. It's called Build My Team, I believe. So yeah, by all means, make use of that. And again, if you aren't part of the server and you would like to meet some other people who are a fan of this series, come join. Link in the description. Promise you'll have a good time. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's about everything I wanted to mention for this episode. So I suppose I'll just see you in the next one. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next episode where we face the Destructors. Most likely the final team for this story mode. Goodbye!